Okay, this supposedly is a no-no in an ultralight. We're in a quartering 20-mile-an-hour wind coming in from the starboard side of the plane. You can see the windsock up there and give you an idea how it's dancing around. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's go around this way. You can see it a little better. Yeah, there you go. And there's a little indicator on the front of the ship. See that little guy? Acts as kind of a windage indicator. When you're flying an ultralight, particularly in the wind, you're no longer an airplane, you're a bird. Don't think of yourself as being in an ultralight or think of yourself as being in an airplane. Think of yourself as being a bird and thinking where you want to go. That means you're going to use angle of attack and you're going to use the wind instead of fight the wind. The wind is really your friend. It's just a moving cell of air that you're going to be part of while you're flying. So one of the things you're going to notice is that the minute you let off your brakes, this happens. That's because the wind is turning you around, you see, and it's actually pushing you backwards. Okay, at 20 miles an hour, an ultralight is actually light enough, and the dihedral is great enough, and the wing incidence is sufficient to where you've already got an established angle of attack at takeoff. So let's pull back on the stick and watch what happens. Suddenly we're flying backwards. Hit the brakes, drop the nose, and we're stopped. Now let's go ahead and take off into it using the same theory. Let's go ahead and pick up our front end while increasing the throttle a bit. That'll hold us in position. And then we'll release the brake and fly off. Just like a bird leaving a branch. Now let's use the wind, and we'll allow the wind to turn us in the direction we want to go. Pick your wing up, let the wind hit it. Roll it over and let it take you. Much like coming off a branch as a bird, same thing. You can gain altitude and then increase your speed and accelerate into the wind, much like a bird would do. Now bear in mind, fly always with angle of attack. In other words, look the way you want to go and use the wind to put you there. Notice I lowered the angle of attack before I made my turn. Now we're going to come over here. Now we'll start decreasing because we're going to land. And we're going to settle in and land on our branch. Now the branch we want to land on is the front of that runway. So we're going to match our airspeed with the resident wind and gradually decrease it, allowing the wind to fly us onto the runway. Coming right in, upwind. You see it? Keep lowering your RPM, and you'll settle right in on the runway and set your brake. And you're there. Then you can taxi back up and look like a normal human being again. And that's what I mean by flying with angle of attack and thinking in terms of being a bird. And instead of a runway, you've got a branch you're landing on, or you have a branch you're taking off from. And instead of using your power, beating your wings hard, let the wind lift you and take you. Don't fight the wind. Use it. Anyway, hope that helps. It makes it a lot more fun, otherwise you're fighting it in an ultralight. There we go.